When I was growing up, my family would sometimes go on road trips, and these road trips would entail specific road trip meals that were only made for road trips and were um only ever seen on road trips and were never to be heard or seen from during any other time. There was this particular special meal which I'm referring to called the cream cheese and olive sandwich. If you've never heard of what that is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a cream cheese and olive sandwich, okay? Yeah, just digest that for a moment in your mind. Don't don't digest it for real. That's a bad idea. Don't do it. Put that down. You do not need to get in that kitchen. It's not good. Here's the scenario. You're a little kid and your father is the kind to want to start his road trips when there's no traffic on the road and he's got the longest time to like get there before like I don't know. It was always the middle of the night. It was like 4 a.m. and you're suddenly packed into a car with a blanket and a pillow, and they're like, "Good luck, go." And you could fall back asleep because you're a little kid, just cars booming, it's nice. You wake up hungry. You're like, "Oh man, I could use a snack. Mom, do we have anything to eat?" She's like, "Oh yes, we've got sandwiches." And you're like, "Sandwiches? I do like sandwiches. I like a ham sandwich. I like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich." She's like, "Would you like a sandwich?" And I said, "Yes, please." And she'll hand you back a sandwich. And you're asleep. Your senses aren't really fully up yet because there's no reason to be. You're in the car with your loving family who you trust very much. And you open that Ziploc baggie from the cooler, and if you'd been just a little bit more awake, you'd notice that something was off, that this was neither peanut butter nor ham. And you would have stopped yourself early. You would have called into question why your sandwich smells the way it smells, but you can't do it because it's too early and it's too late and you've bitten into that sandwich and it was a cream cheese and olive sandwich. Something you've never encountered before in your life. Do you remember in my grits video when I said I don't like strange textures in my world? Well, this is one of the things I meant. A cream cheese and olive sandwich was always made on wheat bread, also, by the way, and it was made before the trip, put in a Ziploc baggie, and placed in the cooler. So, as my brother puts it, it had no chance of not being soggy. It was like eating wet cardboard, the bread was. And the inside is cream cheese, which is smooth and pleasant, and we can all accept cream cheese into our life. But also olives, chopped up, crunchy, chewy, horribly vinegary tasting olives. The green and red kind, not the black kind. I think sometimes they put black in there, but I always remembered the green and red. That was what it was in a cream cheese and olive sandwich. That is what will always be in a cream cheese and olive sandwich. And you cannot make me eat a cream cheese and olive sandwich because I do not want to. You know what I mean? So it came to my attention that if you were to Google a cream cheese and olive sandwich, if you were to search it online, that you might run into this monstrosity or that monstrosity or maybe that one. That is so much scarier than this one. Okay, this is what mom would do. She would chop up the olives, mix them in with the cream cheese, and then spread it upon the sandwich as if it was like an egg salad, right? Or something like that, where you just have this mixture that you put on the bread. At least like you can follow the concept. If you grew up with this, I'm sorry. This is utterly terrifying to look at. I'm so sorry for you because not only does it taste bad, but it's so scary to look at. You scarred in multiple ways. I didn't know that a cream cheese and olive sandwich could get worse, but this is visually appealing at least. Sorry, what? This is what I made that gift for. What? Look at that. What are we looking at here? What are we talking about? I don't know. You don't know either. But we're looking at it. Oh, let's get out of here. Goodness, that is disgusting. It makes me want to open this up just to like be relieved. And I don't even like this, but it's a pleasant visual from my childhood, even if it doesn't taste great. Isn't it pleasant enough that you're like, I could try it. I could give it an attempt. It's got reds, greens. You could almost pretend those are bell peppers and be happy or sad, depending. I've never tried that. It sounds like it could go either way, but it would still be better than olives. You understand me? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go. I've got to work on actually editing this video again, but uh, that's just one of my notes. So you end up um either choking that down or spitting that out, depending on how old you are and just how much you care. And then calling back to mom being like, "Mom, something's wrong with my sandwich." And she being like, "What do you mean, honey? It's a cream cheese and olive sandwich. Isn't it nice?" And you say, "No. No, here you go. You can take this back. Do we have any other sandwiches?" It's like, "Yeah, we have other sandwiches." And you're like, "What kind?" And she's like, "Oh, cream cheese and olive." And you're like, "No, no, mother, that won't work. It will not work. That is what's wrong with the first sandwich. I thought I explained this, but apparently you thought it was something else, and I just need to make sure that you know that the what it is what was wrong with the cream cheese and olive sandwich."
You need to stop all this.
What, you just pointed to all of me?
Yes, that's it. Stop being all of you. Oh, yes.
Eventually, later on in my childhood, she did start reluctantly, so reluctantly, and complaining about it, making and packing ham and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Not ham and peanut butter and jelly. Ham sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for us on road trips. Not as many as she made of olive and cream cheese. No, not as many. It was like, okay, you'll get one regular sandwich, and just in case you're hungry again later, I'll pack you an olive and cream cheese sandwich, okay? And I was like, no, I'm not, still not gonna eat it. She's like, if you're hungry enough, you'll eat it. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how stubborn I am, lady. And like, and sometimes they'd be half sandwiches, right? She'd like do a half peanut butter or a half ham, and she'd be like, "Well, I thought that was all that you would want or need because you never eat your cream cheese and olive sandwich, so you must not be that hungry." And it's like, "Mother, I don't eat it because it's bad." And she's like, "They are delicious. You just don't have any taste." And it's like, I have plenty of taste, but I question yours. Sometimes you'll spot one in the wild. Somebody will mention it on like a TV show. Specifically, there was a trailer about some girl with like powers and she turned her book into ice and then like changed it back and her mom knocked on the door and she was like, "Hey honey, I got you a cream cheese and olive sandwich." And the girl was panicking so much she was like, "That's great, mom, I'll get it in a second." Half the comments were about like how interesting the show looked. And those were people who've never heard of a cream cheese and olive sandwich. And the rest of the comments by people who've heard of cream cheese and olive sandwiches were like, the most unrealistic part of this is that she's willing to eat a cream cheese and olive sandwich. You know, that's what we're dealing with when we talk about cream cheese and olive sandwiches. Okay, thank you for listening. Uh, have a great day.